back to Khaleelah's world. Khaleelah's world. Khaleelah's world. I'm a singer. That was real good, okay? First and foremost, if you're watching this and you're not subscribed to my channel, I'm just gonna sit right here. And let you go ahead and subscribe, because there should be a button right up above for you to go ahead and subscribe. Because if you're not subscribed to my channel and you're watching this video, then I don't even know why you're on my channel, basically, okay? Just make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Today we're going to be talking about college pre-med classes. So I know that right around this time everyone's going back to college, and so that means that if you haven't already picked your classes, then you're going to be going to different classes that first week and a half to figure out what classes you're going to add, what classes you're going to drop, and just kind of figuring out what kind of track you want to be on and where you kind of want to see yourself like to actually get into medical school. So I just wanted to kind of tell you guys the way that I did it, the classes that I took to kind of help me get to here and the way that I did it. So I know that when I first got to UVA, everyone that was pre-med was like, oh, I'm going to take chemistry now. And the way that like people at UVA do it, if you're going straight into medical school and not taking any gap years, they would take chemistry our first year. And at UVA, we're kind of weird, so we call ourselves first, second, third, and fourth years instead of like freshman, sophomore, junior, and seniors. So if you hear me refer to like first, second, or third, or fourth year, then that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, so our first year, people that were going straight into medical school, they took chemistry. And then our second year, they took organic chemistry and biology at the same time. And then third year, they would take biochemistry and physics. I don't know about y'all, but the way my life is set up, I ain't got time for all of that stress, and that was a lot for me. And so right after I had graduated high school, I had just finished taking AP biology. And so I was like, I think the best thing for me to do would be to go ahead and just take biology now, like intro to biology with the lab also, because I knew from the very beginning that I wanted to take a gap year. And then not only that, but I was also like, I feel as I'm not going to do that well in chemistry. I did not enjoy chemistry at all in high school. And then to kind of have that be the first science that I'm taking in college, like, you know, starting off this pre-med route, that doesn't seem like it's going to be great for me. People that like plan on taking like maybe one gap year, they will take either chemistry or biology their first year, and then they'll take either chemistry or biology their second year, and then take like physics over the summer, and then take biochemistry like that third year fall semester. So what I did was I took biology, intro to biology 1 and 2 my first year of college, my first and second semester, first year of college. That's what I did. And actually biology went well for me. I enjoy biology. I feel as though it's more of like the human part, the animal, the normal part about sciences and like the medical field. I don't really care for chemistry and things like that. That's a little bit more like into medicines and stuff that like, okay, I know like I need to inject these, but I don't really care about learning about them type of thing. I don't know. I wasn't into all of that. But yeah, so I took biology my first year. And I did well in it. I enjoyed it. It was definitely hard. I remember after my very first biology test, which was my very first test in college ever, okay? I thought I failed. I called my mom afterwards. I was on the side of my dorm, like outside, just bawling, crying. I was like, I'm dropping out of college. I'm dumb. I can't do this. Like, da da da. I thought I had failed, and I ended up getting a B. So obviously did not fail. But I definitely like was very scared about it. It was definitely very stressful. And then my second year, I took chemistry. Chemistry. That was a little more difficult. But I also just don't like chemistry. And my professors were horrible when it came to chemistry. So I felt really like no support. Like I don't really know how to get help. I ended up getting a tutor, which actually helped me a lot. Please do not be afraid to get a tutor or to ask for help. Never be afraid of that, because all you're doing is stopping yourself from getting into medical school or any type of like grad program or wherever you see yourself later on in life, or just getting the grade that you want. You are stopping yourself from doing that if you do not utilize tutors or getting help, going to office hours and things like that. Like I was in office hours, I got a tutor because I knew that I needed it and I wanted to actually do well. You know, I didn't care about what other people thought. You know, I cared about the fact that I knew I had a plan plain. I knew I wanted to get into medical school, and whatever was going to give me the best bet to get in there, that's what I was going to do. So I recommend that anybody, if you're struggling, get a tutor. And then my third year, I took organic chemistry, which was not as bad as chemistry, honestly. It was not as bad as chemistry, because organic chemistry is more focused, and so that like made it a little bit better for me. But my class, the way that my teacher was set up, it was like, basically you teach yourself. Like I don't even understand why I would show up to class, because I learned nothing. He would sit there and he would just draw on the board of different structures, and it just was like, why am I here? So that was annoying, and I never learned anything from him. I would go back to my dorm, which I was in RA at that time, and I would just read the textbook. I mean, read it from inch to inch, and instead of like typing up notes or just like highlighting, I would actually sit there and write out what I was reading, like what I understood from what I was reading, write out the different reactions and the different structures, and that was like my miniature notes of what was going on in the textbook. And then that is what I would use to kind of teach myself what I just learned, because I always feel as though it's better if you put things into your own words. So like sometimes textbooks, they be saying some wild stuff, blowing things out of proportion. Like I'd be like, I don't even understand what you just said. Like English is not my strong suit. I don't like English, and whatever you just sat there and said actually sounded like Chinese and not even English to me. So I'm gonna put it in my own words. So I always feel so that's best to like kind of put things into your own words and kind of figure out how you can remember things. So I know like I had a friend in college who we were always like, it was a group of us that was in organic chemistry together, and he would always come up with like different phrases or like different sayings to remember certain things, or like certain reactions. And it was actually helpful, because we would be sitting there on a test and we would remember like this weird saying of like, the cat jumped over the hat, and that stood for like thiamine and alkaline and like different things like that. Like that's just like how we remembered it. So I took labs with all of these classes too. Like I took my lab with the class too. And then after the summer after third year, I took physics at VCU, which is Virginia Commonwealth University here in Richmond, because I was obviously coming home for the summer and I didn't want to take physics at UVA, not at all. And I ended up doing phenomenal with physics at VCU. I don't know why. Maybe because of the way the like teaching was, it was just different, but I actually understood it a lot better. It clicked with me better, and I did phenomenal with it here at VCU. And so I took that my whole summer after third year. And then when I went back for fourth year, I took biochemistry fall semester of fourth year. And that was all of my like pre-med requirements science-wise. Obviously, you gotta take like English, and you also have to take math, which I actually took. What did I take? I took calculus my second year, and then I took biostats my third year of college. So that's how it worked out for me, and those weren't bad. I like math, so they really weren't bad for me. So that's the way that I went about it. And so by spring semester of my fourth year, I had fulfilled my requirements for medical school, my pre-med requirements. But I still make a decision on whether or not I want to retake a class, or to like learn it more, or just to get a better grade. And the way that most medical schools do it now, they don't take the best of the grade. Like if you like to retake a class, they don't take the best grade out of those retake of the class. What they end up doing is averaging out the two grades that you got. So like, let's say you got a C the first time, you got an A the second time, you end up with a B. That's how they do it. Most of medical schools now, which is perfectly fine, because that B is obviously better than a C. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the way that like I've gone about it. But I know that it can be so stressful, because you have so many people inside of your ear basically telling you like, oh, well, you should do this, and this is how you should do it, and this is the classes that you should take, and this is the path that you should take. And it's like, no, boo, You ain't gotta take chemistry your first year if you don't want to. You don't gotta take organic chemistry your fourth year if you don't want to. You have to figure out when you think is best and when it will fit inside of your schedule best to take your pre-med requirements. Because there's a lot. Like, to be quite honest, being pre-med is like a second major, and they don't give you a certificate and they don't give you a degree to sit there and prove that you did it, which is very unfair because that literally is like a second major. You're taking so many classes to fulfill your pre-med requirements. So it's actually a lot. So you have to figure out what's best for you and what's gonna make you succeed in the class. Like, do not be scared at all to like not follow the typical route, because there are plenty of people that took class in the same order that I did that are succeeding, literally succeeding. If they're not in medical, like obviously they're not in medical school, but they're in like a master's program, which automatically is linked to a medical school, so like they can apply right after they finish the master's program, or they're working to like do something else, they're studying for the MCAT. Like, there's so many different ways. There are also people that do go the typical route that are either in medical school right now, or you know, they possibly didn't get in. That happens. Just because you do the typical route doesn't mean that you're gonna get in, and they don't get in and now they have to figure out a backup plan. And so if you guys have any more questions, just go ahead and let me know, and let me know if you kind of want to see more like little advice videos about like what classes that I took, how I got through the classes, different things like that. But thank you for tuning in and watching this video. Make sure you subscribe, boo. What you doing? Why you ain't subscribed? Go ahead and hit that button and subscribe right now. I'm definitely here to help you guys out, but I hope that this video actually helped you, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.